Good morning, Commanders, and welcome to the season reset. We are going to do ranked play, and we're going to have some observations on the changes in this patch. So we will dive right into it. There's 6 things that I'm going to be discussing today, and we'll also show some gameplay. The cost of Unit Express has been drastically reduced, at least for the first offer that I've seen. We'll also discuss the new artifacts, new power stones, the collider size adjustment, the Monster Hunter nerf, whether it's a thing or not, because I've experienced some mixed results already, kind of good and bad, and I'll show you the results of my XP bank. So if you like what you see here, please do like, subscribe, and if you want notifications, hit that notification bell and you will be notified when I drop new videos. Also, please do feel free to leave comments below, and if you have suggestions for how to improve the builds that you see or comments on the artifacts, whatever you want to comment on, comments really help me in the algorithm, so please do comment below. So I wanted to show you the screenshot of the first Unit Express that I got. Usually for $14.99, you'd probably get maybe four or five, maybe 3 paladin shards, and they'd probably throw in some gold or gems or something too. But this seems to be a drastic increase in the number of shards that you get per dollar. Now, whether or not that's still a good deal, I wasn't tempted to buy it, so I'll leave that up to you if they're getting closer to your ballpark for tempting you with these Unit Express offers. At least they're headed in the right direction. Power stones. The 2 power stones of note that we're going to discuss today are the Ignite and the Resist Conditions. Well, actually, we're not going to discuss them very long. I'm going to discuss them right now and we'll be done. Ignite seems to be a bit of a game changer. You can add it to units that don't have burn, so you can get some interesting dynamics with that. But I think Resist Conditions is going to be one of the biggest changes because there are so many Snow Globe builds out there with the Mind Corruptor that having that Resist Conditions is going to go a long way. So I think that that's going to be the biggest game changer, is the Resist Conditions. So I think we'll move on from that. I managed to get 2 out of the 3 artifacts. You'll notice that right there, I did not get the common artifact. However, a clanmate named Greika got all 3. You lucky jerk. But congratulations, Greika. I'm very happy for you and tremendously jealous. So congrats on that. And we will go ahead and dive right in. Okay, now I've equipped the 2 artifacts that I got, and we're just running them for a little bit just so you can kind of see how they function. I have not been terribly impressed, but again, they're level 0. So once they're upgraded a little bit, we'll see what happens. Just to show you real quick, there's that one. Let's see, we'll go ahead and pop some levels onto it just for fun. And then the other one, we will pop some levels onto that just for fun. Okay. So let's see what those did. Now, okay, so every 5 seconds increases attack potency and attack speed of all units in one faction by now 48% at level 8. So, okay, so it's a pretty substantial buff, and I imagine that as you rank it up, it's going to be a much more stout buff. So this will probably be stronger than the buff that you get from Toe, which, well, which shouldn't matter because they don't conflict. But with Toe, you get where is it? Oh, it's on the main, got it back out. Got to move that, there we go. So with Toe, you get a 70% buff. But so the thing that this would conflict with for the build that I'm using is that I'd have to drop my Crown of the Lightbringer, which means I'm losing a massive HP buff and regular heal. So yeah, every 7 seconds, I'd get 15% plus 3.25 with the roll I've presently got, and the massive drop in HP. So huge decrease there. Now, again, I'm just running these just to show you how they function, and so you can see if it's worth investing in them in the future for your build. I have the Ancient one. the start of the battle, 3 unkillable eyes, random locations for 4.7 seconds, and then they disappear. The eyes channel a mind control beam towards the closest viable enemy, instantly mind controlling them. The first time I ran that, it didn't hit anything because all 3 appeared on my side of the battlefield. So it's kind of a hit or miss thing, and clearly I think this would be a downgrade for my build, just because the Pendant of Everlasting Winter helps me to get from one end to the other by freezing Entangling Roots and by freezing Arcane Archers and stuff like that. So, and there's a massive HP buff on the Pendant of Everlasting Winter at 20 seconds. So yeah, 40% HP buff, which really helps during Frenzy. So yeah, again, these may not be ideal for the build that I'm running, but we'll go ahead and run them just so you can see how they work. Okay, let's get right into it. Here goes. Okay, watch for those eyes to pop. Okay, we've got random units being targeted, and now everything was too far away. It's got a pretty limited range on it. So I just don't see how much value I'm getting out of that. It seemed like I got maybe 2 shield bearers for the cost of my Pendant of Everlasting Winter. Not terribly thrilling, but again, it's a low-level artifact right now. Once you buff it up, it probably do a lot better, but not so much. Okay, yeah, see, all 3 of them appeared on my side of the battlefield, nothing in range. Oh, there we go. We tagged a Thornguard for a fraction of a second. And looking at the Unity thing, again, I think I'd rather have Crown of the Lightbringer over the Unity thing for this present build, but that might change as the artifact gets upgraded. But right now it just doesn't have enough power to really compare it in a proper comparison. I just wanted to run with them for a minute or two and see how they worked. Looks like I'm gonna get them. All right, victory. Oh, and here is the results of my XP bank. So I did a video about the season reset under the guides and tutorials section in my YouTube channel. And I mentioned this XP banking concept, and you can see that I've still got a ton of banked XP. This is all stuff that I've saved just from my Cauldron and Bounty Hunt. So if you'd like tips on how to maximize your season reset, go watch that. All right, so we will do a couple more runs with these artifacts, and then we'll switch to something else. We'll try to keep this... Oh, look at that wagon. The wagon was ping-ponging in and out of the range of the eye, but again, it didn't amount to much at all. That would probably change as you get more of a duration with... I think you have to upgrade the tier of the artifact, not the fragments of the artifact. We'll look at which things upgrade when here after this battle. So yeah, if we look at the eye, okay, so 3. So you get okay, when you get to level 1, you'd probably have 4 unkillable void eyes. So it seems like the duration is what gets upgraded with your fragments. But once you get shards, then you can upgrade the number of void eyes. So hey, if you get 5 upgrades, I don't know how many you get per upgrade, but maybe you'd end up with at least 1 per level. So that would be 8 unkillable void eyes. That's that might be worthwhile once you get to level 5, but maybe even before then. We'll see. Okay, we'll do one more and then we'll switch back to our regular artifacts and do some analysis on the actual gameplay. Something to notice is the collider size adjustments. I haven't seen much of a difference. They talk about how they've adjusted the mass of these units to where they will interact differently in the physics of the game. I'm not seeing too much of a difference. I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just not seeing much of it. Now, the Monster Hunter is the other thing. Earlier, I should have recorded my first couple of encounters so that I could have shared them with you. But apparently soul pylon orbs are now soaked by the monster hunter shield. So as long, okay, my monster hunter just got stunned there. You saw that. If you're stunned, then you'll still get hit by him. But as long as your monster hunter is operational and not stunned or frozen, you're going to soak soul pylon orbs. So, in the last community stream, Ulthar talked about how you're going to not be able to shield any of the units around you. And once we run into a Stormcaller, you'll see that it just goes right through my group and hits my Frost Wizard in the back, at least until they get some distance from him. So I've had some complications with that, to where my Frost Wizard is now more vulnerable, as well as the other units around me, just to the Stormcaller and obviously things like catapults. Somebody did mention on Discord, I forget who, but they said that Cannoneer balls actually go through the Monster Hunter. They don't hit the Monster Hunter anymore. So again, as long as you're not stunned or frozen, then you should be clear of all that stuff. So, okay. Again, those Void Eyes not helping much. So we're going to go ahead and ditch those. Again, I've lost a lot of health just because I don't have my crown or my pendant, and we're going to switch back. So you've kind of seen how those work. It's hard to see the Ring of Unity in action until it gets a little more of some stats on it. It's just difficult to see any impact. Okay, so let's get back to normal operation and see how we function. Okay, we got a Mind Corruptor Snow Globe. Frost Wizard negates the Thorn Guard's reflective damage, and they take more damage, helps me burn through them quicker. And it's just a matter of if I can get to that Mind Corruptor before I lose too many of my units. Looks like I'm not going to. Oh no, wow. Whew, that was close. Changes since I last ran my squad. Just to mention, I now have a level 9 Eternal Champions unit, and I have upgraded them to Protection 3. And I have also upgraded my drummer to level 10, and I think I changed his to Protection 2 from Protection 1. So those are the notable changes. Monster Hunter is the same. Oh, and Paladin I put Protection instead of Thunder Shield and Damage 3. So those are the changes from the last time I ran this, in case anybody's wondering. Okay, here comes the Meat Grinder. Just going to shred through most of this very quickly. Demund, isn't he the developer? I think he actually works for Traplight. Unless somebody's just used his name and they let him get away with that. But yeah, so let's see. Perippy. Okay, I'm going to have difficulties with this one just because of the Wraiths and the Death Knight. They're going to nuke my guys pretty quickly. Oh, if I can tag that Death Knight, I've got a chance. There we go. Should be clear sailing from here on out. All the Wraiths are down, Death Knight's down. It's 20% of the time that happens, but 4 out of 5 I usually die to these builds. It's just a matter of how the units land. If some of my units can tag that Death Knight and get him down, then it's clear sailing. But most of the time, my Titan build will die to that. Titan build, squad build, hero builds, whatever you want to call this. I usually call it squad, but my clan has been calling it Titan build for a while, so I'm starting to gravitate to that. Oh, okay, notice the Monster Hunter. Oh, I'm not sure if we saw it or not, but the Monster Hunter did not act as a point of gravity for the Stormcaller. Hopefully we'll have another shot at a Stormcaller so you can see. Okay, corner build. We've got Toe and Reconstruction Hammer, which is going to make it difficult to get through these walls. Molten Armor drags you down in front of them, which makes the walls much more useful. Kind of forces you to wrangle with those. If the Soul Pylon orbs will spread between my units or hit the Oh, never mind. See, there's the monster hunter. He got hit by the soul pylon orbs. I wasn't paying enough attention to see if he or she, since I've got the female skin, if she soaked any of those orbs before. But if you want to rewind and check that out, you might see that monster hunter shield doing some new tricks. Okay, catapults. We'll see how that fares with the monster hunter shield. Yeah, it's just hitting everybody except the monster hunter. It hasn't really done a direct hit on the MH yet, so we'll see when that happens. Okay, there we go. Yep, no damage to the monster hunter from the catapult, but everything else is getting hit because it will not uh, disappear the catapult shot. It will now hit no matter what. It's just not going to bother the monster hunter. Okay, so we're gonna probably call it after this. You've seen artifacts in action. Again, not too much to see yet until we get better levels on those. I've seen a little bit of how the new Monster Hunter shield is working, and we've discussed the Power Stones a little bit. Show you the XP bank. It's really difficult to see the collider adjustments, but yeah, hopefully that was some helpful information for you for this new season. Please do like and subscribe, and I will have some more content for you in the near future. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.